and welcome back to my channel, the best place to help you get started building your business and brand online. And today I am super pumped to finally be sharing all of my favorite tips and hacks and secrets that I've used over the past year to really grow my channel to over 5,000. I'm actually over 6,000, and I'm not gonna be sharing things like stay consistent or just get started because duh, like, you know, if you don't get started and you don't upload videos, you're not gonna grow in the first place. And I shouldn't have to tell you, considering you're a big girl, that you should stay consistent, because obviously if you're not consistent, people aren't gonna come back. Which is why I'm gonna be sharing actual tips and strategies that I implemented to be able to really grow a lot over the past year without having a viral video. And yeah, as much as I would really love to have a viral video, and as much as I would love to see you have a viral video, we can't really count on that. So if you're pumped, then hit that thumbs up and keep on watching. Let me just start off by saying the beginning is always the most brutal. Like, getting those first 100 subscribers, those first 1,000 subscribers, I mean, the struggle's real. And so the reason is because you lack social proof. So when you lack social proof and you don't have a big channel, you have to make up for it in other ways, which is exactly what I did and what I'm sharing. Which brings me to secret number one, and that is I made sure that my channel was really set up, okay? Now, although I've been on YouTube since 2015, I don't really count the first few years because I was basically just uploading videos to be able to embed on my blog, and I had no stinking clue what I was doing, which is why it took me literally like years to even get my first 1,000 or 2,000 subscribers. When I really started focusing on YouTube was the beginning of 2019. I decided December 2018 that YouTube was going to be my focus. I was switching from Facebook to YouTube. And so at that time, the first thing that I did was I really wanted to make sure that my channel was set up properly, meaning the back end of my channel, I had my tags set ready to go. I had my description. I had my YouTube banner, which kind of said how often I was going to be uploading videos. And although I'm not going to go into all of the back end setup and what you need to make sure to do, if you want to know what those are, then just be sure to check out last week's video, which is right here, all about like the step-by-step of how to set up a YouTube channel. And I'll also link that down below as well. But I just wanted to make sure that I was crystal clear on exactly what my channel was going to be about, who I was going to be serving and making this content for. And that's something that you definitely want to make sure that you have in place in order to grow faster. Secret number two is personal development and really narrowing my focus. I decided that I was going to completely immerse myself into YouTube and really hone my skills in. Now, when it comes to personal development, I think a big problem that I see a lot of people make, which stunts your growth, and it stunted mine for a long time, is trying to sit here and master or be a master at a bunch of different things. And I've asked the question a lot of times, like to my students and people in my community, you know, where are you going to be focusing? And a lot of the times I will hear like multiple social media platforms, like, yeah, in 2020, I'm going to focus on YouTube and Facebook. And it's like, how's about no? That is setting yourself up for failure right out of the gate. If you want to really grow on a specific platform, I'm a firm believer that you have to go all in on one freaking platform at a time and learn everything you can, which is exactly what I did in 2019. I wasn't out here learning how to, you know, get more exposure on Instagram or Twitter. Like, I was focused on YouTube. And so I was watching every video that I could. I was diving into every training. I was reading books all about YouTube, the algorithm, how to grow, how to get more views. And because I applied that knowledge, obviously that contributed to my growth, which brings me to secret number three. I became a pimp for my channel, and I suggest you do the same. And what this means was everywhere that I had a presence before, I was letting them know that like I was shifting over and they could find me on YouTube. So because I had spent years, you know, uploading weekly, doing Facebook Lives and all of that, I ended up going live and letting everybody know like why I was making that change, why I decided to shift, where they could find me, what they could expect from me, when the videos were going to start being uploaded. And not only that, when I started putting out the content every week on YouTube, then I was literally promoting that content everywhere that I had a presence. Facebook, YouTube, or well, obviously YouTube, but Facebook, I was putting it in on my business page. I was putting it inside of my Facebook groups. I was promoting it on my stories in a lot of different ways. And I was putting it over, like, even though I'm not on Twitter, I was literally promoting it and pimping it everywhere, sending out an email to all those on my email list. And yeah, like, you gotta pimp it. I was telling my mother, my brothers, my sisters, like friends, anytime that I would upload a video, I was telling them like, hey, I just uploaded a video. Can you go and just watch it? Even if you like don't even listen to it, just turn it on and let it play through. And listen, you may be laughing at that little like secret of a tip, but the one thing that I know about YouTube is that watch time is king. It has everything to do with watch time and retention in an effort. If you want like YouTube to start suggesting your content, you need watch time, you need views. And so I was literally like, any phone that I could get a hold of, I was putting my video on and playing it through. The fourth thing that I did was I started looking at other successful YouTube channels, both in my space and out of my space. Now, here's the deal. If somebody was like out of my industry, take for instance, obviously I'm in entrepreneurship and helping people get started building their business and brand online. So if I'm sitting over here and I'm watching Jaclyn Hill, who has a makeup channel, or Heidi Summers, who has a fitness channel, I'm looking at their videos and I'm trying to think like, what do I like about this video? What do I not like? What are some things that are like grabbing my attention that maybe I can incorporate in my own videos? Now, moving on to watching people who were in my actual space, what I would do is I would go to their most viewed videos and I would ask myself, like, is this something that I too could create a video on? And if I could, I would watch that video and maybe a couple other videos, like I would do a search for that same type of video and I would watch maybe the top 2 or 3, and I would ask myself, okay, how can I fill in the gaps? Like, what's missing? What do I like about this video? What spin? What examples? How can I spin it and make it my own and create an even better video? What insight maybe could I add that would make it even easier to understand? And another tip that I did that you might want to jot down as well, hopefully you got your pen and paper handy because I'm throwing out like so many nuggets here, is I would then, and I realize that this does take some time, but obviously if you're not willing to put some time and effort and energy into it, you probably wouldn't be watching this video anyways. But a little pro tip, a little another golden nugget is go to the comments of that video and see what questions are people asking about it. And I would do that, and that way when I created my own video, I would be sure to answer those questions in there. Golden nugget number, I don't even know what number we're on, but stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Like, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel. Like, I know what people are searching for, and so I'm just going out there trying to create really good pieces of content. Take for instance, you have this video that Sunny did, and it was all about how to make pro videos from your phone. So I literally did exactly what I told you to do, and I created this video, and I added my own spin to it. I looked at the questions. I decided, okay, based on this, what can I add? What insight can I add? And I ended up giving some extra nuggets and explaining it in a little bit different way than she did, and therefore it still makes for a solid video. Or I would look at the video topic and I would say, okay, that's a really good topic. It's getting a lot of views for this person. What can I do to spin it to where it actually aligns with my brand? So for example, Vanessa Lau did this video on rookie mistakes over on Instagram. And so obviously I'm not the Instagram person, but it did like zing, let me know that, hey, I could recreate a video as well, but instead of doing it on Instagram, I could do it instead on Facebook rookie mistake. The fifth thing that I did to grow my YouTube channel faster was to focus on searchable content. Now, what this means more specifically are short little tutorials, how to do something specific. Now, I also made sure that this perfectly aligned with my brand. So as an example, if you notice, like my most viewed videos are all short little tutorials, like how to do something specific. And mainly it comes down to Facebook, how to do something specific on Facebook. So it's a lot of Facebook story tutorials, or how to do something specific on Facebook, how to change your settings to where you can add the follow button, or how to turn on dark mode in Messenger, how to do something specific. And again, when I focused on that searchable content, it allowed me to really rank a lot in search, get way more views, and allow me to grow my channel faster. Now, what's super cool is that when I search for the term Facebook stories, I am actually actually the top creator on YouTube for Facebook stories. Not only that, I have right now, as of right now, the #1 spot, and I have several videos that are ranking on that first page of YouTube when it comes to the search term Facebook stories. With YouTube being the second largest search engine right behind Google, which obviously YouTube is owned by Google, you need to use that to your advantage. And oftentimes, especially in the beginning, like if I were just starting out on YouTube again, like this is what I would focus on. I would focus on searchable content. What is something specific that people are searching for that you can turn around and start creating videos on? Number 6, titles and thumbnails. And let me just say, they are everything, okay? Everything. Now, I personally clearly sucked at this in the beginning. For the first several years, I was not focusing on titling my videos. I wasn't doing any type of keyword research. My thumbnails were horrible, just still images from the video. And here's the deal, when it comes to how many people are actually clicking on your video, if you want somebody to click, there's 2 things that you have to focus on. That is title and thumbnail. And I heard a epic little quote, I guess you could say, from a girl named Jade. And she says, and I wholeheartedly stand behind this, she said, you know, a good title and thumbnail will get you the click. The click will get you the view will get you the watch time will determine whether or not they subscribe. See, if you don't have a standout thumbnail, and if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell, because I am going to be talking more about thumbnails and what I've done and learned over the past year, and whoo, have I learned a few things. But just to give you a couple of tips to kind of jumpstart, and this is something that I did, is I would go and I would look at somebody's channel, again, an influencer who was doing really well, somebody in my particular space, because thumbnails may be a little bit different, like in health and wellness, if you're doing a fitness channel versus like something like me, entrepreneurship and marketing and branding. And so I would go to the influencer's channel who's got a bigger channel. I would look at their most viewed videos. I would look at what their thumbnails were. I would look at their titles. I would study them, and I would get ideas from there. I'll also add that one thing I've noticed that in thumbnails that have like high views is generally there's some type of emotion, like it's an up close picture of you and it's some type of like or sad face or some type of emotion. And literally taking these and testing and tweaking them on my channel, it goes against every fiber of my being, because I'm not a huge fan of selfies and it's super unnatural for me to sit here and take pictures of like different emotions and things like that. But everything that I've studied goes to show that when you do that for your thumbnails, it's an up close picture of you. You're not using a bunch of text on it, like 4 or 5 words or less on there. That can really help as far as your thumbnail. And as far as titles, what I do is I use a software or a tool called Keywords Everywhere. I've mentioned this in quite a few videos, but basically that just helps me to determine, what keywords that I'm going to use in my title. And I try to pack my title with short keywords and then like a longer tail keyword, which is like a longer phrase basically. And I'll get more into titling videos and how I do that at a later time, just to kind of condense this down to where it's not super, super long. But I really study title and thumbnails, and that's something that I really focused on in 2019, is just playing around with different types of thumbnails to see if I could get my CTR, meaning click-through rate, a little higher. And an average click-through rate is 2 to 10%, okay? So I'm really trying to get higher. Like I'm really trying to aim for 5 to 10% plus when it comes to click-through rate. And if you're not really familiar with what that is, it means when you're scrolling through on YouTube, when somebody sees your thumbnail, are they clicking on it, okay? And if they're not clicking and you've got a lower click-through rate, then that generally means that you probably want to think about tweaking your title or your thumbnail. Now, I'm not going to go into YouTube analytics and showing you the back end of all that. That is going to be the next video that I actually upload on my channel. So if you find yourself like looking at your YouTube analytics and your eyes are crossing because you have no clue what they mean, just stay tuned and make sure you hit the bell so that you can see the breakdown that I upload on the next video. The 7th thing that I started doing was just working on trying to make my videos better. I was working on trying to make them more interesting, and this comes down to intros, trying to like give get through my intro and not ramble on, like get to the point quicker. That's something that I noticed was an issue from looking at analytics and things like that. So getting to the point quicker was one. I've also really been trying to focus on talking a little bit faster in my videos. I'm not sure if that even works. I feel like I'm talking faster until I take this puppy into editing, and then I'm like, dude, you're still not talking fast. But the great thing is there, you know, you can speed up videos, but hey, I am from Tennessee, I'm from the South, and so that's to be expected. I don't talk as fast as a Northerner, but it is something that I'm pretty conscious of. Another thing I've been kind of implementing lately, now not so much in 2019, but I have been doing it in 2020, is working on like taking different shots, like recording different shots or different tips from different camera angles. So right now, as you can see, you've probably noticed how the camera has been jumping around. I may have a shot over here, and then I might do something face on, and then I'm doing it from a different angle, maybe a little bit farther away. As far as editing goes in the video process, working on like getting those different shots, like zooming in and zooming out, and adding maybe some B-roll, some overlay. So as you probably noticed earlier when I was talking about some of my videos that were ranking, I was showing B-roll, like an overlay of another video playing of me like doing a screenshot, doing the search. It might be adding music. So I've just been adding different elements so that the video to me doesn't seem like as boring, and I'm trying to just keep your attention longer, because let's face it, people have the attention of like a freaking fish these days, okay? We are almost on the home stretch now, coming in with secret number 8, which is telling people to actually subscribe and engage with your followers, engage with your subscribers, engage with people who actually comment. Now, when I first got started on YouTube, a lot of my videos, again, they were Facebook Lives that were edited to put over on my website. So they were not optimized for YouTube at all. And the big problem is you can't assume that people know what you want them to do. If you want somebody to subscribe, like, yeah, you may think that's common sense, but it's really not all that common, because if you don't tell people, they probably won't. Not only that, but if you notice a lot, when I talk about like, hey, if you haven't already subscribed and hit the bell, because I know if people don't hit the bell, they're less likely to see my videos in their notifications or like on their home screen or whatever. So I'm constantly telling people like subscribe and hit the bell. That is not something I did in the beginning, which I definitely feel stunted my growth. Secret number 9, as I'm moving the camera around and hopefully it's not too wibbly wobbly, is learning and paying attention to my analytics. You want to know, once you do start getting some videos and you do start getting some views, like how are people finding you? Now again, I'm not going to go in depth in detail on this video when it comes to YouTube analytics. Make sure that you're subscribed and you hit the bell, because on the next video I am going to be breaking down what those analytics are and teaching you or showing you where to go, so you know like how people are finding you, where are those views coming from, are there specific keywords that people are putting in to where they're discovering you. Now this can be as a whole on the channel, but it also is broken down individually, like video by video, so I'm going to be showing you all of that on the next video. Secret 10, are you ready for this? My favorite one. The Steve Martin quote, "Be so good they can't ignore you." Focus on creating the best possible content, the best videos. Like what can you do to ramp it up and be the best so that when people watch you, they are amazed. They're like, wow, like you're so good, and they start sharing your content. And so do your research and don't focus on what everybody else is doing. Like focus on how you can show up and how you can serve your audience to the fullest. And to me, that absolutely is going to pay off. Now, I want to hear from you, so don't be shy, because I won't bite, and this will require you to actually, jot something down in the comments. But I want to know, like, what keeps you watching a video? Do you like it when people jump scenes, or do you like it when it's just face to camera the whole time? A lot of the times, I realized myself when I was recording videos that if it was just face to camera the whole time, there was no depth or editing where it was like jumping, it was just like one frame the whole time, I tend to get a little bored. But, that's just me. So I'm kind of curious to hear what matters to you, what keeps you watching, what keeps you coming back, what do you like, what don't you like? Because here at SBC, Sherri Brown Coaching, I am all about the feedback, and I just want to make sure that I'm serving you at the fullest. And if there's something that maybe I'm doing that you don't vibe with, like I would love for you to let me know in the comments. Just, be a little nice about it. I do have some thicker skin, but you know, I am human. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Again, subscribe, hit the bell, do all the things. With that being said, I hope you have the most productive day, the most productive week, and I'll see you back here in just a few days on the next video. While you wait, be sure to check out these other 2 videos. I almost went the wrong direction again, but I've got some other videos that you can check out that'll help you out while you wait on the next one. Much love and talk soon. Bye for now.